The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Good evening, I'm Maricela Kelleton with the news. Member for Moresby South, Justin Chochenko, today apologized to the people of Papua New Guinea regarding comments he made after a viral video of the member's daughter sparked outrage throughout PNG and abroad. The member was granted time to offer a statement explaining his comments made to an international news agency, despite a clear refusal to hear this explanation from the member for Vanimogreen, Belden Nama. Member for Moresby South and sidelined Minister for Foreign Affairs Justin Chochenko on the floor of Parliament today gave a statement explaining the use of the word primitive animals. Comments from the member that caused outrage and calls for his resignation in response to the member's daughter's viral TikTok video of a lavish London trip.
A lot has been said in the media and on social media over recent weeks, and the people of our nation want to know the truth of what was said and how it was intended and how this was manipulated and what was actually meant by my words. I made comments in a media interview that was targeted at what is better known as social media trolls. They are faceless people who spend their days on social media hidden behind false names. They say the most disgusting things and make the most vile threats on social media.
Chochenko says he responded in that manner due to blind fury.
Regardless of any office that I represent or position that I might hold, above all else in life, first and foremost, I am a father of my children. And when I saw the vile and disgusting things that were being stated and said about my daughter, I did have a burst of blind fury at these horrible individuals. These disgusting individuals, some in PNG as well as in Australia, the UK and other places, were making sexual threats against my daughter, threatened her in the manner of disgusting remarks. I speak with every parent in this house and every parent of this nation and seek your understanding of how angry and frustrated I was and still am at these trolls.
The Moresby South member says he is cooperating with relevant authorities looking into the matter.
Comments against these disturbing people were twisted, manipulated for their own political and personal gain. At this point of time, I'm also cooperating with the appropriate authorities on this issue so to clear any misunderstandings.
Not all members of Parliament were as forgiving as the Prime Minister, as the member for Vanimogreen, Belden Nama, called a point of order before Chochenko's statement, calling for the House to disallow the member from speaking. Opposition leader Joseph Lelang has called on Prime Minister James Marape to table the information pertaining to the recent court decision on the gold bullion policy. According to the Prime Minister, the gold bullion would address the alleged illegal export of gold out of the country.
Prime Minister James Marape has clarified that all documents relating to the gold bullion policy will be made available for public consumption. Marape made this clarification after the Leader of Opposition, Joseph Lelang, requested information of it in Parliament today.
Will the Prime Minister make available copies of the agreement, the NEC submission, decisions, the company details, and all negotiations and actions the government has taken. And they will have this table in this House for scrutiny in line with the National Court decision, including information relating to owners of the company, shareholding arrangements, why this company was registered in Singapore, and is it private or publicly listed?
Marape said the gold bullion policy is structured in a way that will benefit Papua New Guinea. He added that a huge amount of gold is siphoned out of the country illegally. The gold bullion policy should address this.
Government on this side is a pro-nationalist government. Any work we work upon is to get more for our country, period. Nothing less, but everything more for our country under the existing legislative framework we have, and anything we can push to get back more, we are pushing. So the gold bullion will be structured in such a way. The intention to move into gold bullion, gold refinery will be structured in a way that is not harmful to existing industries and their contract, that is not harmful to existing players or businesses in the industry, but make it more accountable. Just like we're trying to account for how many forestry harvests we make in our country, how many fisheries harvests we make in our country. Unbeknown to many of us, individuals smuggling gold out big time. For those who are in the registered big investment harvest that is going on like Lihir, Pogra, Oktedi, and Harmony, we've now for the first time since we took office, by a simple amendment to the Mining Act, we now have a data registry link at MRA, and for the first time now we can know exactly what is happening in the processing center in Lihir, in Pogra, soon to be reopened very, very soon. Oktedi, our own state mine, we will now set up that in Ramonikol and all mining in our country for greater accountability. This gold bullion conversation is about accountability for all gold processed and produced in our country.
Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
No reports were submitted by the Special Purpose Authority to the government. Minister for Provincial and Local Level Government Affairs, Soro Yoe, announced this today on the floor of Parliament.
Minister for Public Affairs Soro Yoe revealed in Parliament today that sums of money were given to special purpose authorities without any reports. He said there are about 14 SPAs created by the government to help with the disbursement of landowner funds. Minister Yoe said SPAs were directed to submit reports. Only 8 have done so.
A month ago, out of concern, I had issued circular instructions asking all SPAs to provide their financial and operational reports as far as how far it can go. Out of 14 LLG SPAs, 8 responded. And I have received their reports. Some reports I'm going through it and I'm not satisfied because the report does not talk about how funds were used. So I'll be dealing with those SPAs.
MP for Hiri Koyari Keith Iduhu raised this concern in Parliament after funds allocated to Hiri's Special Purpose Authority were allegedly misused.
We look at the existence of these Special Purpose Authorities. What is so special about these Special Purpose Authorities? To speak of, in finality, I want to ask the good minister also to respond to the various queries raised and the progress on possibility of amending sections 98 and 99 of the Organic Law on provincial and local governments so as to enable members of Parliament who are granted great mandate by the people of each respective constituent to represent and advocate and push their development aspirations.
Governor for Southern Highlands, William Powie, raised a supplementary question seeking clarification on whether or not the government should keep the special purpose authorities.
Minister, through Acting Speaker, can you table where SPAs are established in this country? Whom do they report to? Because a lot of resources have gone to SPAs, Special Purpose Authority, like in my province. I have no visibility on them. Whom do they report to?
Position now is that I'll be having close consultation with all the leaders where special purpose authorities exist, and to come up with final position whether or not SPA should exist. Because up until now, so much, hundreds of millions of funds have disappeared, gone down the drain, which should make serious developmental changes to the lives of our people.
Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
Papua New Guinea's Defence Security Treaty with Australia is still in wording process, stated by Prime Minister James Marape. On the margins of the Korea Pacific Islands Summit, PM Marape met with Deputy Prime Minister of Australia Richard Marles to talk further on the treaty.
Prime Minister James Marape stated that Papua New Guinea's Defence Security Treaty with Australia has been pushed back due to wording changes in the treaty documents. Australia Deputy Prime Minister as well as Minister for Defence Richard Marles was also in attendance of the Korea Pacific Islands Summit and spoke to PM Marape on the margins of the meeting in regards to the treaty.
I just want to inform our country there are certain wordings, and I did inform the Deputy Prime Minister. We do not agree on certain words that are used. We felt that they encroach into our sovereign rights, and we did ask them to go back. These are matters of work in progress for us. And the Deputy Prime Minister was very kind and gracious. He do acknowledge that in this sort of bilateral engagements, two sides must agree to what is to be signed upon. So those are matters before our working officials. It hasn't reached my level as yet. It is at the technical official levels, the exchange of the papers between our side and their side. We have responded back to what we feel are the correct words. I think from my information, they have responded back. Our sides are going through this one.
Marape emphasized that the Defence Security Treaty with Australia is different from the Defence Cooperation Agreement that PNG have done with USA and others around.
Whenever we find that it is mutually, we both agree that this is the correct text of the Defence Security Treaty with Australia, then we will get on with it. So at the moment, we have not yet reached a agreed text of what should be the treaty.
He explained the difference between treaty and agreement and the importance of the process in treaty signing.
Treaty, for information of all, is higher than an agreement. Treaty will require parliament ratifications. So these are, again, not something where minister to minister just agrees or it happens, but it goes through due process on both sides of the government. Canberra's processes, Wagon's processes, measured against the laws that govern our two countries. So he's noted the reason why we've said it will not be signed in the form that was proposed. They've taken it back. We've also taken our side back, and we look into it.
Jasmine Iro, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape said the turnaround time for the PNG Defence Security Treaty with Australia to be signed is when it aligns with the national constitution. PM Marape is hoping that Australia agrees to the proposal as well as PNG, and both are of mutual benefit for both sides for the treaty to commence.
United States, again, as I said, it must be, for me, I must not break any law that governs the laws of my country, and so measuring up to what is expected on both sides, and their proposal too is not way off, within reach, but again, wording must be something that my cabinet must approve, my parliament must approve, and so, and knowing what is expected on my side, anything that doesn't stand up to our national constitution and our laws of our country, that it gets pushed back or processed. And so with the proposed Defence Security Treaty with Australia, we are measuring up and we're looking through. Once we're happy, they're happy, it's consistent with our laws on our side and with the laws on their side, it's mutually beneficial for both sides, especially our people who will live after us, then these things get progressed.
The Secretary for Education, Dr. Uke Kombra, thanked all the provinces and the schools for the successful conduct of the Grade 10 written expression examinations last week on Thursday, June 1st, despite two minor setbacks. Dr. Combra said reports received from provinces are welcoming so far, and the department is looking forward to the other examinations that are coming up.
Education Secretary Dr. Uke Combra said during the Grade 10 written expression exams, 2 issues were reported, including challenges faced in delivering the exam papers to Nissan High School in autonomous region of Bougainville due to bad weather, and the second issue was the late request to the department by Ovan Technical High School in Eastern Highlands Province and Mendy Secondary School in Southern Highlands Province for Braille exam for their students. However, Dr. Combra said he believes these provinces have sorted the students out through their local Kalan Services offices, and also the Department of Education will ensure that the upcoming national examinations will be brailled for these students. The next lot of national examinations include Grade 12 written expression on Monday 7th August, Lower Secondary School Certificate Grade 10 on Monday 9th to Friday 13th October, followed by Upper Secondary School Certificate Grade 12 on Monday 16th to Friday 20th October, and Certificate of Basic Education for Grade 8 on Monday 23rd to Friday 26th October. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. After the break, Lean Stucky petition dismissed and vital skills combat malaria.
It was during and after COVID that really motivated me to want to take up life insurance. I think savings is very important, and I think One Talk Delight provides a disciplined approach to savings, and it's a good investment to want to think about the future, because it's always nice to have plans for what you want to do later on.
With you for life.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale-raised family meal at home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite of mine. Tennessee Cola, scale rise, don't scale price. Tennessee Cola, scale rise, don't scale price. Amber, you like it?
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook, and with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
A chance, it goes to the hands of Sami, they'll score through Khan Pereira.
Nice ball, Tareen Buller's in. Here come the Tigers.
Big tall forward, he's kicked one. He's got two, pumps the jumper as he turns to the crowd saying 3 on the road. Graham Breton, Clark for boot to ball and did plenty with it.
Bangs it on the left boot. Oh! That is a Himmelberg special. Off the boot, mark not paid. Fogarty swings around and drills it.
Welcome back. The election petition by Glenn Kiso against KVN MP Ian Lynn Stuckey and Electoral Commissioner Simon Sinai was dismissed at the KVN National Court this morning. Judge George Manuhu said the petition failed to comply with Rule 4 of the election petition rules. Hence, he dismissed the election petition and ordered for the 5,000 kina security deposit to be paid to the respondents in equal shares.
The election petition against KVN MP Ian Lynn Stuckey and Electoral Commissioner Simon Sinai was dismissed by Judge George Manuhu at the KVN National Court this morning. The petition filed by Glenn Kiso challenged Lynn Stuckey's election as member for KVN in the 2022 general elections on grounds of bribery, undue influence and illegal practice. The respondents filed separate objections to the competency of the petition, which was heard on Monday, June 5th and adjourned to this morning for ruling. Under Section 208D of the Organic Law, national and local level government elections, 2 witnesses are mandated to state their occupations and addresses. The latter is where the precise section, lot number or street name must be provided. The court found that the attesting witnesses in the petition gave their postal addresses, which is not recognized by Section 208D. Judge Manuhu said the petition failed to comply with Rule 4 of the election petition rules. Hence, he dismissed the election petition and ordered for the 5,000 kina security deposit to be paid to the respondents in equal shares. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
The implementation of KVN District Development Authority programs and projects should not be perceived as bribery. Member for KVN Ian Lynn Stuckey made this statement after the election petition against him was dismissed at the KVN National Court this morning.
Member for KVN Ian Lynn Stuckey was met outside the KVN National Court this morning by jubilant supporters who celebrated the dismissal of the election petition against him. The petition by Glenn Kiso challenged Lynn Stuckey's election as member for KVN Open in the 2022 general elections on grounds of bribery, undue influence and illegal practice. It was dismissed by Judge George Manuhu, who said the petition failed to comply with the mandatory requirement of Section 208D of the Organic Law, where the 2 attesting witnesses are mandated to state their occupations and addresses, the precise section, lot number or street name, not postal addresses. Applauding the justice system, Lynn Stuckey said the implementation of programs and projects by the KVN District Development Authority should not be perceived as bribery or undue influence.
Time implement the budget na all kita mama na papa pigni pig dog malyaw kakaruk only benefit no this la budget this la undue influence mila clear mo sem today na finish blong mi like express him to disappointment blong mi long usat all candidates only lose me disappointed today because all respect him mandate long people because win you me win tasol you me win no primary vote laka
Lynn Stuckey asked the people of KVN District to let bygones be bygones and urged the 2022 KVN Open candidates to work with him and move the district forward. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
Sinivet LLG in Pomio District joined the nation in commemorating the 50th anniversary of the World Environment Day on Monday, June 5th, at the Browns premises in Laup Ward. The program began with a 3-kilometer march pass from the LLG office in Sunam Ward to the Kadaulung Junction in Laup Ward by students and teachers of Warangoi Secondary and Primary Schools, Sikut and Riet Primary Schools, and LLG Public Servants escorted by Warangoi Police. LLG President Boniface Gerup launched a 2-day cleanup program for all the 16 wards in the LLG. The Conservation and Environment Protection Authority's Managing Director, Alu Kai, said this year marks 50 years since the first commemoration of the WED by the United Nations in 1973. Stressing on this year's theme of solution to plastic pollution, Alu said SIPA has formulated policies such as the 2019 policy on the ban on use of plastics and a present draft of the waste management policy. Participants who took part in the Monitoring Vector Control Project Efficacy workshop in Medan have expressed how grateful they are for learning these important skills. The 13 participants are from Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu. They have been certified to now return to their place of work and improve combat practices in efforts towards minimizing malaria. They now know how to perform analysis on certain vector control products, especially mosquito nets, to see if the amount of insecticides contained actually repels mosquitoes and the duration of the insecticides on the nets.
Rolex Javier, the Senior Vector Control Supervisor under the Ministry of Health in the Solomon Islands, was thankful to have participated in Monitoring Vector Control Product Efficacy workshop. He learned more about insecticides and its effectiveness on mosquitoes. He also thanked facilitators for the hands-on experience and opportunity to work with resources because back home they lack the resources to carry out such examinations. However, as a trainer, he is determined to teach what he now knows.
The effectiveness of the insecticide contained inside, and also the IRS, the spraying on the walls, whether the insecticide we are using are effective at killing mosquitoes or no. So this training gave us hands-on experience, especially for us in Solomon Islands. Currently we don't have facility like research facility. In the past we have, but currently no. So this is a big bonus for us. Me and one of my colleagues came here. We go back. We will train. We came here as a trainer. So we will train. Go back as a trainer to train other vector control teams or supervisors in other provinces.
Another participant is Wesley Tint, community health worker and vector surveillance officer at Strive PNG in Kiunga Western Province. He appealed to provincial health authorities to support such workshops that educate health professionals. They would have to practice more often, investing time to perfect the instruments being introduced to them.
Okay, tahun PNG, tahun hospital mas luksawe lo kainon NGOs na work boom. As we go through the middle of them, I'm leading partnership. So PHA must come in, hospital on other stakeholders come in, and it's kind of like a scientific work, which I'm leading plenty time, plenty practice. You need to practice plenty. You need to get enough time to make it. So after here, I'm making certificate to finish. Vector surveillance controller. So kami go back to Kiunga. Nah, kami try implementing all these ideas. Kami try putting all idea milani, kami go back na all idea. But as me to finish, kami need assistance. Because stakeholders na PNG.
Clyde Toboeta from the Milne Bay Provincial Health Authority said the workshop and practical skills were intensive. He is confident and looks forward to implement what he has gained with health professionals back home. His only concern is that he may not have all the resources he would need to implement every single technique he has learned. The participants thanked the Institute of Medical Research, PACMOSI, and Associate Professor Stephen Carl. They believe the workshop has benefited and enhanced their skills in their roles in respective organizations. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
Female inmates at the Beyond Correctional Institution were blessed to have small business enterprise Island Elegance grace them with knowledge on how to design and sew their own clothing line and marketing strategies for when they return their own communities. Janita Jaffet's Island Elegance Managing Director and owner has partnered with Beyond CS in rehabilitating female inmates. She runs community programs through her SME while on break from her regular job.
As a thriving entrepreneur, Island Elegance Managing Director and owner Janita Jaffet believes in giving people second chances and the opportunity to better their lives, as she has been through personal struggles and was given a second chance to become who she is now.
What we do now is a second chance for some of them for tomorrow. Okay? And I'm privileged to have you sisters standing with me as women in Madang province to empower other sisters to go out there and be better people for other sisters that they come across in life as well. So thank you.
Janita assured the women inmates and staff of Beyond Correctional Services that this is not her last visit. She has made a pact with the women there to visit every 3 months to continue her work with them.
Either without funding, I will do this because it's the right thing to do. People need us in certain places, yet our government, our provincial governments, or the mama government turns a blind eye on certain things like that. And time Bimil Susa, Bimil Brata, or citizen of this nation to stand up and give back service.
In this visit, she provided fabric, paint, stencils, and other necessities the women would need to design, cut, and sew sundresses. The inmates and female corrections officers were overjoyed that Janita reached out to them. The 10 inmates were empowered and are now determined to continue their work with Island Elegance. Island Elegance will also visit juveniles in custody to deliver life skills similar to the women's prison visit, in the hopes that when they return to society, they have a skill to begin a new life again. Island Elegance has a trademark for its designs and encourages SMEs throughout the nation doing designing to do the same as well. Janita is vocal about exploitation of traditional icons and symbols as they represent our heritage. She believes that when we use these too often or unnecessarily, they can lose their value. As such, Island Elegance usually portrays flowers, leaves, and other non-iconic patterns, but symbolic to the Pacific and the islands. Salome Vincent, TVWAN News.
TVWAN News continues after the break. Stay with us.
There's a sense of pride when you're able to do something right, a financial decision that has just really good benefits. With BSP Life Insurance, there's that alleviation of that worry when you pass away. The benefits of the BSP Life Insurance would meet those expenses on behalf of my family. If you're young and you have kids, you owe it to your children to make sure they're not left behind when you pass on.
With you for life. He loves the Maroons. He loves the Blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in Milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in Milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Pine PNG made.
All Mama Flame is Lori Olsem.
Me sabe you sing flame flower long one him. Me sabe me Kim Kai Kai belong family belong me. You go more yet.
Man belong me sabe like him flower balls belong me what them kawa war na spring onion. All pikinini belong me sabe like him to mas pineapple donut me sabe walk him lo house. Me make kumo mix him what them cow na karamapim long flower.
Tasty hash browns.
Time is scaling one time wala pela Kai Kai. Me sabe kissing more Kai Kai long all get a toya mi tromoy one time flame flower.
You enough making more one time flame flower.
Hardware House launches the low-cost quick build kit home, built with quality building materials from the leading manufacturer of steel products and kit homes, Atlas Steel. Going now at introductory prices: 1-bedroom kit home at 79,000 kina, 2-bedroom kit home at 99,900 kina, and 3-bedroom kit home at 125,000 kina. You can also opt for solar units to be installed in the kit home at an extra charge. For more information, email info@hardwarehouse.com.pg.
Superstition ain't the way.
Beautifully down the ground.
Up here, should take it.
And India have been brilliant.
Australia takes the opening test.
Have some of that. Oh, too good on that occasion.
Down there again, takes another beauty. Can't believe it.
They've won the third test match. They've made it to the final. The Oval awaits.
Right now, we're facing a man-made disaster of global scale. Our greatest threat in thousands of years, climate change. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon.
Welcome back. Turning overseas now, Vanuatu will put to its parliament a security treaty with Australia before the end of 2023 after concerns over China in the region led to neighboring Papua New Guinea delaying signing another such treaty. During a visit by Australian Defence Minister Richard Marles, Vanuatu's Prime Minister Ismail Kalsakau said a security treaty signed with Australia in December 2022 was still being examined. Vanuatu's National Security Council was going through the text and it would be considered by its government's Council of Ministers to present it for ratification. Meantime, Papua New Guinea said a proposed security treaty with Australia would be delayed as it considers the impact on its sovereignty. Queensland's health system is under increasing pressure as the state faces its first winter with significant numbers of COVID and flu cases. Emergency departments are swamped and it is still months before the flu season peaks.
Familiar sight at Bundaberg Hospital, with masks mandatory again, but this time for an entirely new battle. A combination of COVID and a flu outbreak that's almost 9 times higher than average.
It's the first time we've really seen both viruses really circulate without good controls in place.
The latest COVID hospitalisation figures are the highest since January. Flu cases are rising too. 3,500 were reported last week.
We're nowhere near the peak of the influenza season.
Hospitals are already overloaded, with more adults and children presenting to emergency departments compared to this time last year.
We're seeing high numbers of viruses. We're seeing that people are circulating with each other a bit more than perhaps they have done in recent years. We're also experiencing high amounts of staff sickness.
And the experts are worried by low community vaccination rates.
The flu vaccine that's still less than 30%, and booster uptake of COVID that's really plateaued or declining.
Get your COVID booster and get your flu shot. Because hopefully then you'll avoid getting really sick and having to present an emergency.
The state's traffic light style COVID warning system remains at green, its lowest level. There are suggestions raising it to amber could spur the public into action.
That traffic light system I thought was designed exactly for this reason. I think at the moment people don't fully appreciate the risk that's out there in the community. Our hospitals are filling up.
We're all going to have to work together to get through this season. It's going to be big and it's going to be busy.
The self-styled United Liberation Movement of West Papua with the people of the Melanesian region have declared political support for full West Papuan membership of the Melanesian Spearhead Group. West Papua Council says full membership of the MSG would be a sign of victory for the Papuan nation seeking to become independent from Indonesia. The declaration of support was attended by executive, legislative and judiciary leaders who expressed their backing for full MSG membership status for the United Liberation Movement of West Papua in the MSG by signing the text in Jayapura recently. Most primary schools have chickens or a veggie patch, but how many have their own kettle? In the northeast of Victoria, one primary school is adding cows to the curriculum in an effort to inspire students to work in agriculture when they grow up.
The coolest club is Cattle Club.
I love the shows and all that, but I also love spending time with the animals.
They just love it. And, when's Cattle Club? Is Cattle Club on today?
The students at St Francis of Assisi are learning to care for the school's cattle and present them at local ag shows.
Interacting with animals teaches the kids so much, to caring, working as a team.
The Dexter breed is small, but can still be hard to handle, so the smaller kids take care of goats.
This is Ginger.
And what's Ginger like?
He's just a little rascal. He doesn't care about anything, he just cares about food. Sometimes he jumps up into our state defence.
It can be very chaotic, especially Goat Club.
Jordan Hoban volunteers her time to Cattle Club, hoping it will inspire others to consider a career in the sector.
We've actually got a couple that they've actually purchased their own heifers. I'm sure as they get older, we're really hopeful that they'll end up with a career in agriculture.
Agriculture programs in primary schools are very rare, but at university level, graduates are currently in high demand.
There's been some recent data come out and they're talking about sort of 5 to 6 jobs per graduate.
This year, Cattle Club will take their Dexters to 5 spring shows. And the experience is already having a positive influence, with many students pestering their parents to buy them their own heifers.
Once we've finished washing and drying them and stuff, they'll sit down in there and they'll lay down and we'll just cuddle with them. It's really amazing.
No pressure, Mum.
And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Back home, regional forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, isolated showers and thunderstorms becoming scattered over Western Province and Milne Bay Province. Mombasa region, isolated showers and thunderstorms becoming scattered over Morbe Province. New Guinea Islands region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Highlands region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, then scattered morning fog. And that ends the news segment. In sports, PNG NRLC takes action and OFC favourites emerge.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
Remember the joy of playing with your toys as a child? At Money Plus, we believe that every small business deserves the chance to build and grow. That's why we offer asset financing.
Our chance to building something new, to see a different point of view. With Money Plus, we're ready to go.
Mipla halivim wari belong you.
How would you describe your mother?
My mom is beautiful. She is strong like Superwoman. I love my mom because she always takes care of me.
My mom, she's so patient and loving. I feel she's always around.
Caring. She works so hard and always wants the best for me.
She's soft like her love.
My mom is everything, and I don't know what I'd do without her.
Softland, fragrance of a mother's love.
Change your TV plan to a postpaid plan and save more than 100 kina. Get a 30-day 40-channel plan for only 85 kina and get a free DTV plan to watch rugby league,
blink and you miss it,
or Filipino dramas from anywhere you want.
Good idea.
How awesome is that?
what a moment.
Dial 1515 to speak to a TV agent and get yourself a postpaid TV plan today. Digicel TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
Rubbers hits the upright, kicks again, he'll get there!
Sir Johnson, he's got a double.
Saab with the big loping strides. You cannot believe this. Manly are back level.
Beautifully gathered by you, and there's the try, the Dolphins.
Beautifully down the ground.
Mission taken.
And India have been brilliant.
Australia takes the opening test.
Have some of that. Oh, too good on that occasion.
Down there again, takes another beauty. Can't believe it.
They've won the third test match. They've made it to the final. The Oval awaits.
Tasmania is Australia's smallest state, lying about 240 kilometres south of the mainland. Join me on my journey through this beautiful island state as I experience the produce, people and culture that makes this an unforgettable island.
Karate One Premier League, live from Fukuoka, June 11th.
Thanks for staying with us. The management and board of the Papua New Guinea National Rugby League competition has responded to the Round 8 incidents at the Lae Rugby League Oval. PNG NRLC Match Review Committee, upon receiving reports from match officials of the doubleheader in Lae between Lae Snacks Tigers and EPG Miox at the PRK Mendi Muruks and Bintango Gurkha Lahanis match, appropriate action has been taken against players and officials involved.
Following Sunday's incidents, the PNG National Rugby League Competition Match Review Committee met and reviewed the video footage of the games and has identified those involved. It has laid charges on players and club officials. The incidents occurred following the doubleheader in Lae between Lae Snacks Tigers and EPG Miox and the PRK Mendi Muruks and Bintango Goroka Lahanis. The PNG NRLC Match Review Committee said actions of these offenders breached a number of PNG NRLC rules and guidelines. The penalties for the players and club officials involved were served today. Lahani's player Roger Kenny will serve a 7-match ban for disputing the match referee's decision. Fellow Lahani's player Charlie Booker will serve a 2-match ban for disputing the match referee's decision, thus bringing the game into disrepute. Lacenex Tigers captain Charlie Simon will serve a 6-match ban for charges of using offensive language and misconduct. Simon has been charged for breaking the rules of the game by running onto the field of play after full time and verbally assaulting the match referee. The MRC found his actions as a very serious breach of conduct as captain of the club. Tigers club officials Jerry Coots and David Loco have been banned from attending any Digicel ExxonMobil Cup matches for 5 years effective immediately. Also, they must not be seen within 100 meters of any venue hosting the competition until the year 2027. These penalties come after both men participated in the physical assault of the match referee after full time. Both Tigers and Lahani's clubs will be fined for bringing the game into disrepute and tarnishing the image of the competition. The board will hand down fines deemed appropriate to both franchises. According to the PNG NRLC, measures have been put in place to deal with it proactively. The PNG NRLC has started working on programs designed to educate franchises on all forms of violence, on-field and off-field. The charges handed down by the MRC to offenders will send a stern message and much stronger warning to all clubs and their supporters to have more respect for match officials and the competition as a whole. Salome Vincent, TV1 Sports.
The Port Moresby School soccer program has completed its pre-season last Saturday and will go into proper season starting next weekend. This program started 3 weeks ago and it has attracted overwhelming interest from the school children and parents.
Students from at least 7 primary schools within the capital city have been attending the school soccer program in the last 3 weekends at the Sejong Stadium. They had a chance to play football representing their school against students from other schools. The school soccer program presents to students the opportunity to learn soccer skills and keep them healthy both in the classroom and at home.
I think junior development program is the way to go, so we are concentrating on these kids because when we start early, it's better. So the under 6 who are playing right now, when they are under 10 or 12, they have 4 years of experience playing. Those ones who don't take part, they won't have any experience until they reach 18 or 20.
Mr. Magay said through this program they can create friends with students from other schools and develop as a person outside of classroom setting as well. The program has children aged between 6 and 18 years old playing football in different age categories. This arrangement will be used in the proper season so that children can play in age categories. The Port Moresby School Soccer Program is an initiative of physical education teachers in both private and public schools and parents. Season proper will kick off in the coming weekend. Vice President Magay thanked the PNG Sports Foundation for allowing them to host the event. He extends his gratitude to students, parents and teachers for their support in the pre-season. Mr. Magay hopes this partnership and support continues throughout the season proper. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
New title favourite for the inaugural Women's Oceania Football Confederation Champions League has emerged after securing 2 convincing victories in first 3 rounds of the league. The AS Academy Feminine of New Caledonia are now frontrunners for the title, surpassing the early favourite, the host Hekari United, who are 1 win and a lose going into tomorrow's game.
AS Academy took out the home side 1-0 in its opening match and then went on to defeat Labasa FC of Fiji 2-1 goals in its second match. The New Caledonia team has 2 matches ahead to wrap up the title. They face the winless Kiwi FC from Samoa on Thursday and a much stronger opposition in Kolowale FC of Solomon Islands in their final match. So what does this mean for the home team, Hekari United, and its aspiration to win the inaugural Women's OFC at home soil, given that AS Academy Feminine are now the front-runners? Hekari United must beat Kolowale FC this Thursday before holding off Labasa FC. It won't come easy as both oppositions have displayed some great football in their previous two matches. However, Hekari United will be coming off the back of a good rest in the round 3 matches. They should be fresh and ready to get these games with convincing victories. The round-robin format gives Hekari United advantage as whoever scores the highest number of goals in the league could be announced winner. Hekari lost its first matches to AS Academy. It won its second against Kiwi FC 9-0 and so sits on top with highest number of goals scored, putting them in a frame of grabbing the title. However, the road towards grabbing the title is tough because there are two quality opponents in Kolowale FC and Labasa FC. Meanwhile, the competition resumes this Thursday at Sir Hubert Murray Stadium. AS Academy will play Kiwi FC and Kolowale FC will take on the host Hekari United FC. Rex Lita, TVWAN Sports.
Clash of the Regions kickboxing fights between Highlands and Southern Regions is set to kick off this Thursday at 3 p.m. at Sports Inn in Port Moresby. Fighters completed their weight check today and are prepared to take the ring.
Clash of the Regions kickboxing fight is sure to be exciting. Some fighters have been in the ring before and will enter it once again to prove that they still have it. Others are new and this will be a good exposure for them. The fight sport will make its return after being dormant following the outbreak of coronavirus. This fight is a lead up to the national championship to be held in Lae, Morobe province later in the year.
Because it's part of our process, so this year's event and next year's preparations, it is important that we have to start. Due to COVID, we've let it be no break for the last 2 years. So since everything is back to normal, we are trying to revive to start everything back on track.
PNG Kickboxing Federation President Stanley Nandex and organizers are excited to have this fight. Kickboxer Stallone Iria from the Highlands region is also excited. Stallone fought in the PNG Games in 2012 in Kokopo. He will enter the ring after 10 years. Nandex acknowledged Governor for NCD Powers Pakop for supporting the event. He said, for many years, fighters have been digging deep into their own pockets to finance events like this. The help that the Office of the Governor is giving will go a long way in supporting fighters and the code. Following the completion of Clash of the Regions in Port Moresby, PNG Kickboxing Federation will organize for the fight between Momase and Islands region before selections are made for the national championship. The main fighting event starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow. It is sure to be a thrilling 3 hours of fight sports. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
There's some big games this week, including Raiders versus Warriors, Roosters versus Panthers, and Storms versus Sharks. Round 15 kicks off this Thursday with Titans up against the Tigers.
West Tigers were impressive with recent performances. They almost completed the comeback against the Raiders last week. The Titans have also been solid, and although well beaten by the Rabbitohs last week, they get their full complement of Origin players. Playing at home is big, so take the Titans to edge past the Tigers. Friday night, Raiders versus Warriors, who come off their best performance of the year with an easy win over the Dolphins. It should give them plenty of confidence. Although the Raiders are favoured to win, they haven't been the most consistent team in 2023. The Sea Eagles enjoyed the week off during Origin, which holds them in good stead against the Dolphins. Manly should come out swinging and secure the victory. Saturday, the Dragons languish in last position after a loss to the Panthers, where they played well enough to win, but they lack class. That's something the Rabbitohs have plenty of, so it should be a one-sided contest to kick off Super Saturday. Next, the Broncos are the best team in the competition, and that was evident with their impressive win last week over the Sharks. They shouldn't have many problems putting away the Knights, who come off the bye, but they lack the offense needed to keep up. The Roosters won't get a better chance to beat the Panthers, who are without Nathan Cleary due to a hamstring injury. It hasn't been smooth sailing for the Roosters, but they're capable of producing the goods during the middle stages of the season. The Storm and Sharks got reality checks last week when not cashing in as the favourites. Cronulla was beaten by a rampaging Broncos outfit, and although it was competitive at times, they were never in the contest. The Storm were thumped by the Cowboys, but Craig Bellamy and the Storm don't often get their pants pulled down in consecutive games. There won't be much between the Bulldogs and Eels, but backing the Bulldogs with the points. Salome Vincent, TV1 News.
And that ends the news tonight. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.